Namaste, Marcus, here again. Now, if you think I look a little bit spaced out, you're wrong. I'm very, very, very spaced out. And the reason being is, it's quite a story actually. And when things start to fall into place, like they do when you're in tune with your being, when you're in your flow. And I'll tell you what happened. I was, probably about a month ago now, a friend of mine had a workshop. He calls them play shops, because it's more about doing than listening, and which is what I try and do more about actual things, doing things rather than just talking about things when I do workshops and the like. And basically, there was a lady who was running the event, who was a psychic medium. It's very good. And there was a point in the day where we were split into twos. I was with someone I'd met before, but I don't really know. And we were asked one of us to pick up a pack of cards, and I think the other one to pick up a crystal. Anyway, during the event, what we were asked to do is one of us would, at one point, choose 2 cards or 3 cards, and the other person would read what was happening for the person from these cards. Now, the lady I was with, she said, "Oh, I don't know how to do this, I'm not sure," but she actually did just what she was supposed to do. Now, I chose a pack of cards, and the cards I chose were an Atlantean deck. There were all sorts of oracle decks there, and different cards, different types of you might say, divination cards. And the ones I actually found were an actual Atlantean deck. And so the cards I chose were Healing, Fifth Dimension, and Recording Crystals. And when I got that card, Recording Crystals, I said to this lady, "Wow," I think that was the first one I picked up, first card. I said, "Wow, I've got a recording crystal. It's what's called a record keeper crystal at home. I think it's Atlantean. It's an Atlantean crystal." And she said, "Oh, I've never heard of them." And I only know about them because my wife knows a lot about crystals, and she gave it me as a gift. And it actually, funnily enough, I've got it right here. And this is it. Now, for those that know about record keepers, they would know how you can discover if you have a record keeper. But the funny thing about this one and the shape of it is it actually fits on here like that when I lie flat. I only know this because recently I started putting it on there. And recently was after this event, I decided that I think I might have done it once in the past. But when I heard this, when I read the blurb about this crystal, recording crystal, I decided, wow, I really have to use that. And I knew right away it was to do with going on my third eye, brow chakra. So I'm going to read to you what was said on this card. The Recording Crystals. It's a deck by Diana Cooper. In the golden times of Atlantis, information, education, or spiritual teachings were telepathic recorded into special quartz recording crystals. This knowledge was then downloaded into smaller crystals, which were teleported. In other words, made to dematerialize and then rematerialize where they were needed. People made themselves receptive and then access the information by holding the crystal to their third eye. In this way, a spiritual internet as well as an education network was formed. If you draw this card, you are guided to open your mind to the new, unexpected information may be revealed, which will help you to comprehend the jigsaw of your life. If a recording crystal comes to you, relax and put it on your third eye so you can absorb the wisdom it holds. Amazing. So quite amazing. Now, I've talked recently about light codes. I've done videos on Rumble and elsewhere about light codes. And the light codes that first came to me were via the Arcturians. They did it while I was sort of napping or relaxing on the bed. They would, I'm not going to tell you how it manifests for me, but I'd already felt the energy since then, since that first time. My wife and I, as you may know, connect to the Lyrans. My wife channels the Lyrans, and they have been downloading the light codes to us also. I've also found there's different variations of light codes and the way they come to us, how they come to us. And on this occasion, I've just had, and it's the second time since I've been using this crystal, as I've just mentioned. It's the second time I've used a crystal like this, and I've had these immense light codes. Unbelievable energy coming through. And although I'm not aware of what this is triggering, because all my knowledge is kept underground as it's meant to be, I know it's triggering things for me and opening up new channels, new abilities, new directions for me to move into, opening up new pathways for me in my life. I just thought I'd tell you about this because I'm so blown out by it. And as much as I experienced lots of these sort of events, this was so mind-blowing, the way it all came about with the workshop, the reading from someone who didn't know what they were doing, so they said. They actually read the cards really well. And the fact that I am a healer and I'm being raising my consciousness, the fifth dimensional consciousness, for several years now. And the one thing that blew me out was the fact that I've got this record keeper, which when I mentioned this to my wife afterwards, she said, oh no, it's not an Atlantean crystal. It's a Lemurian seed crystal. And that's what has really blown me out, because as much as I've felt I've lived in Atlantis, I've always felt an incredibly strong connection to Lemuria. Whether Lemuria was actually on this planet or in this dimension, I'm not 100% sure. But what I do know is I've definitely had experiences in Lemuria of lifetimes and existence. So watch this space. Who knows what's coming next? Namaste. If you have got one of these record keepers and you know what I'm talking about, then try it on your third eye if it will fit. See how it feels. Amazing. See if you get the light codes coming through. You'll know. You'll know what it is when you get it. Namaste. Till next time.